how's it going, guys? This is Papa Joe for this week's edition of the Metal Shop Vlogs. Today, our guests are
Plasma Center Princess or PCP.
PCP.
some new friends of ours. I keep talking about how we love to see new bands, and today we have another example of that. We haven't seen you guys live yet. I don't, and it's funny because I don't remember seeing you guys like on any flyers and stuff in El Paso. So where do you play like most of your shows?
We usually play at like house parties down there in Juarez with some of our friends.
Nice.
But we've played other places too. We're planning on making the step to get good enough gear so that we could play venues here. That's like the dream, I guess.
Yeah.
right now.
So, like, if somebody asks you where you guys are from, where would you say? What's your hometown?
Well, our
It's hard.
hometown would be Juarez. Yeah. Our hometown would be Juarez,
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I envy the hell out of people who go to shows in Juarez, man, because we always hear about, and we also see the videos of the bands from Juarez who have their shows over there, like at McCarthy's and there's other
Yeah,
bands.
Oh, yeah.
McCarthy's, yeah.
But I mean,
We
you
used
know,
to play
we haven't got the courage to go to Juarez yet. Someday, hopefully. So go ahead and talk to us about the origins of Plasma Center Princess.
Yeah. Well, before we start the origins on PCP, I guess we have to start on the other one, no? Trifolium.
Trifolium, yeah.
So we actually had a band before this. We were called Trifolium. And then, man, it's sad because our vocalist would left us to start his other band. They play Sirreño. And so it was kind of sad because he bought like a nice Jackson or something like that.
No,
It was
Explorer.
An
Yeah,
Explorer,
Explorer.
I'm sorry.
Explorer.
And
A
then
custom shop Explorer.
A Gibson? It was a Gibson?
No, yeah, no, Epiphone. It was
Epiphone. And then, well, he would like take care of it. And then one time we just saw him like right there, just with dust and everything. It was really sad.
It was outside in like this shack.
Oh,
It like rains a lot there, and like he didn't seem to care.
Yeah. And then by that time we were looking
fuck that
for
guy.
No, sorry.
Gotta take care of your baby, man. It's like me leaving my camera out in the rain, dude.
And then, well,
Sorry, if he's one of your friends, I'm sorry, man.
No,
but-
he's
No, no,
cool.
he's
It's like,
cool.
fuck him
He's
too.
cool.
yeah. And well, by that time we were looking for a bassist. And then Kevin contacted Raul, right?
Yeah, I was in this other band called Sunset Dread, and we actually did play in El Paso a few times. But
What was it called again?
Sunset Dread, we played at Mesa like
Yeah,
twice.
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, we weren't very good. I mean, we were all right, but we were barely starting off. I mean, it was just like a high school thing.
I think
And-
we've like followed each other on Facebook for a while now, right? For a
Yeah,
couple
like
of years,
I've been watching the Metal Shop blogs for a while now. Like I've seen friends. I watched it. I remember I started watching it with a Thief Named Time
Yeah?
back when they still existed. I don't know if they still exist now, but
No,
they're okay.
Time was the thief of their band.
Yeah.
But you know what? A Thief Named Time, they're all good friends of ours, so much love to Thief Named Time.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a shirt, but I don't know what happened to it.
I have one too. I mean,
But
they're
yeah.
popular, man.
I don't
Good
know.
musicians.
The bass player for that band got now they have a family, so that kind of was the end of Sunset Dread. We didn't want to admit it, we kept saying, but we practiced like once every 3 months,
Mm.
sad.
And these guys contacted me, hey man, we need a bass player, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'm down. They played thrash down there and all the cool bars, and that's what I wanted to do.
You want to
So-
do thrash?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to play whatever, because I like all kinds of music. We all like all
Yeah.
kinds of music.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I wanted to be in like one of the Hysteria. I wanted to play at Hysteria. Remember we used to get like shit faced every weekend,
Nice. Okay, so how did that evolve into PCP?
Well, it was us three. We were just playing us three, and then, well, the vocalist left, so might as well start a new project. And then we started like doing designs for the new PCP logo and everything. And then we got a few gigs, some political parties and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then yeah, we usually move to the bars now. And then, well, so far we're here.
Nice. So, like, I was listening to some of the videos you have on your Facebook page, and it was kind of mellow, the music.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
you're mentioning thrash now, but it's not thrash at all, right?
oh yeah. No,
Well-
it's the album we're working on. We're gonna call it we're
Generic everything.
generic
everything, dude. Nice.
Yeah.
You better be copyright that one right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was noticing on your Facebook page, there's a lot of wordplay with even the way you describe your sound. So,
Oh yeah, that was all me.
you know, like the last one is like Poser, right? Rock
Yeah,
Poser.
yeah.
Poser
Every
rock.
time we'll be, because there's lots of really cool bands that we hang out with, and like I met up with this one Durel Ibarra.
Yeah.
I bumped into him like a week ago, and he's like, I'm not in that band anymore. We're starting this death metal thing, and I was like, cool. And what about you guys? Does Trifolium still exist? And it's like, nah, we play like and I said like pop punk, I guess. And he's like, oh no. And I was like, what's wrong with pop punk? You know,
Well,
it's just
actually, to quote your page, it's absurd, heavy pop, post-ironic punk,
Yeah.
poser metal.
yeah.
That was all, that was all him.
I'm more confused now than before I read that.
Yeah, we don't know how to describe our sound
Yeah.
really. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to wait for the segment where they play so you can get a good idea of what they sound like. So, like, what are your what's your personal music history, like, respectively? Like, did you guys play instruments when you were kids, or I know you were talking about you play trumpet.
Yeah, usually I play trumpet since sixth grade till now, and then but I started playing the drums since I was like 10 years old, and that was funny because like I was in Denver, and then we had a friend who had a drum set, and then we went to go like chill over there. So he's like, oh, I have a drum set. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go check it out, and I just sat down and I started playing. Like, I don't know how I did that. I was just starting playing.
This is like natural, came natural too.
It came natural to me, and then that's how I've been wanting to play drums ever since then. I have one of my own, and then I got into music by band in Guillen Middle School. I started playing the trumpet there,
Nice.
and then I got more into music by then, and up until now.
Cool, man.
you, Kevin?
Well,
How long have
It's a
you
long
been playing
story.
bass? It's a long story.
I've been playing guitar for 7 years already, and then I've been playing bass like for 1 year.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Was it easy to switch?
yeah. It was pretty easy because I've been playing Sierreño music and Campirano music from Mexico, and I'm mixing my style, you know, in rock and also in
Yeah,
Sierreño.
nice. Campirano? You said Campirano?
Yeah, Campirano.
But I've never heard that term. What is that?
It's only guitars and bass.
Yeah, it's like Mexican folk music.
Mexican
Oh,
folk
that's
music.
cool, man. Almost like trios, but without
Yeah, but with
without the third. Duo.
no, we use bass, rhythm guitars, and the cool thing about Sereno is it's the 12-string guitar.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
That's the cool.
Oh yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Well, I've been playing for a lot longer than I should have been to sound like this, you know. But I think what got me into it is that my dad, he came home one night. He was a bus driver. He did like the tours, the charter tours, and he comes home one day with this like case. And I was like 8 years old, and I was like, "Well, what's that?" And he's like, "No, don't touch it." And it was this like beautiful Fender Telecaster, and it was cherry red and everything. And I was like, "Oh," and I didn't care. But then he was so protective over it that it made me want to go and play it. And he wouldn't let me. He's like, "Nah, you're gonna break it. You're gonna break it." And
It was like,
I guess like that messed with me because then I wanted a guitar, and they got me this Behringer, and then from there I pretended to play for the next I don't know how old am.
nice. Hey, man, that's all. Sometimes that's all it takes, just a little spark of interest, and there you go, man. So, what about your influences? Like,
I guess
what bands did you grow up?
we would have to say.
Listening to and
Well,
jamming.
we're gonna get a lot of shit for this, aren't we, guys?
Metallica.
I would have to say Metallica.
Yeah,
Hey,
Metallica.
there's no shame in Metallica.
I mean,
As long as you don't list the Saint Anchor album.
I actually have that album.
oh, shame on you, man.
Shame on me.
It's
But, well, Judy and I got to see Metallica like when before they were even big. Got to
really?
see them in the Coliseum. At
Oh
the
yeah,
Coliseum in
I
the
remember
80s, man.
They came
They-
over here.
Yeah.
like
Open for
82
Ozzy.
now.
Ozzy one year.
No.
So, yeah. I mean, there's no shame.
Yeah, but it goes. It's pretty hardcore. Like the varied like range, because it's like Tom Petty, Metallica, Green Day, Tool, and then
Well,
like
well, for me, my dad used to work at Don Haskins Center, and then he told me that AC/DC went there and Kiss went there. So I was like, oh, I should go with you. He's like, no, it's gonna end there. He's like, come on, I want to go. It's like that kind of started me like on the rock music, and then later on came Kevin and he showed me Metallica and Guns N' Roses. So I got a little spark with that.
Nice. Heck yeah, man. That's kind of our stuff. I mean, we 80s kids Judy and I, so
Yeah.
we know all about that. Okay, and so I already talked about your Facebook page is about your sound, but like if somebody hasn't heard you, what would you tell them your sound is like?
We've had a few people who asked us about that, and we have a difficult time explaining them.
Yeah, usually the people that ask me, I have to be honest with them and say it's probably something you're not gonna like.
Yeah.
It's like somebody
answer
that
You know what? You need to change that and use the reverse psychology and tell me, you know what? I can't tell you what it is, but you're gonna love it.
oh,
Dude.
yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, that's
That way, like before they even hear you, they already have like a preconceived notion of what you sound like, and they're gonna be like, "Damn, you know what? He was right."
yeah. I'm scared about that though because it's like I would rather make them think that oh it sucks, and then it's like oh you know it wasn't that bad, than have them be like oh it's gonna be really good, and then
Like, bring their hopes up, and then
And then
like-
you drop them.
yeah,
Yeah.
we like making the songs, you know. We enjoy them, and
it's usually just a
we-
combination of styles from different bands,
We-
or
we-
from our inspirations.
yeah, we
Making it one.
just
one new
making
style.
art, you know.
Yeah.
Not trying to.
Okay, so let's go and talk about your original music. I noticed on your Facebook page that you did mention something about losing some recordings or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was a.
I'm
that was a
devastated by
Wait.
that.
So was it something that was recorded and then it was deleted by accident or lost or
Yeah, it was an accident.
was an accident?
Yeah,
Oh, an accident.
And next,
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not so sure.
I mean, if you guys want to leave it like that, that's cool.
No, it's well, we already had like 7 songs.
Yeah,
we had more
from
than
that one.
7.
No, we had 7, and then we had the drum tracks for a couple more.
Yeah.
And we had gone because we have all the equipment to kind of record it on our own, but what we really couldn't do was the drum kit. We couldn't get that to sound.
It was the room.
Right.
We didn't have the acoustics,
acoustics.
to
Right.
to record it, and then we had to go to a studio in Juarez. It was free actually.
Yeah, they hooked us up for like just. I mean, it was pretty good for what we needed. And
Nice.
we got all the drum tracks out there, and then yeah, they got erased, and we had to start over. But
Well, we have some friends. They're from here in El Paso, and it's called, I don't know if you're familiar with it, it's called A&R Recording School.
A&R, yeah, I think
The
Yeah.
guy's name is Vavi Lozano. I think he's well known because he's recorded like some really big bands in Mexico.
Mhm.
I think Los Releros.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
know.
okay.
Somebody told me he also recorded one guy. I don't know if that's true or not, but you go to his studio and he has a bunch of pictures like on the wall of the bands he's recorded. And we were there like a couple weeks ago. I think 2 weeks ago. Julie and I went to take some pictures and get video of a band. Some friends of ours were recording, so they wanted to capture that. So Vavi told Judy that if we know anybody who's a band from here who wants to record, he would help you guys out, because what he does is he gets bands to go to a studio to record, and then the students record you. So it's a
Oh.
give and take.
It's practice for them.
Yeah, it's a give and
Okay.
take. You know, like
Oh, yeah,
you
that
give
sounds-
them
Something to work with.
somebody to work with. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they give you the recording.
Oh, all right.
like
all right.
in the schools now where they could take like cars to the shops and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, so we could definitely
That's
like
awesome.
we
That
can
is-
connect you guys with him and
Sure.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
that
I
would-
would really
that's gonna
appreciate
help.
make
that.
up for your lost recordings. That sucks, dude. Yeah, and I kind of like know how that feels because like I've lost pictures for shows that I've taken. Sometimes we lost video. We've lost video for the vlogs before. So that's why we use 2 cameras now, because we have a backup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty
That
smart.
explains.
Because we've actually lost them and it sucks, dude.
That's it.
So I know how that feels. So how many original songs do you guys have as a band?
We count about 13. No? And then
Yeah,
we have
13.
we have a cover of a cumbia, but it's like a punk rock.
Oh, dude,
version.
nice, man. Nice. So most of your stuff is original though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And how long would you say your set is for like a show?
Sometimes they're like infinite, 'cause, like
Infinite.
we'll just be playing like
Improvising?
Yeah,
yeah,
not
like
covers.
Like,
yeah.
Well, we usually play like party shows, so everybody's kind of a little bit, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't mind. And if we can't sing a song, it's like somebody wants us to play Led Zeppelin or Iron Maiden. All right, we'll play it.
We
but you're
try.
gonna sing
We
it,
actually
like-
try.
You
Yeah.
guys can play Maiden?
We could play
We
Maiden,
can,
but we
yeah,
can't
no.
sing it.
Damn, which song would you do?
The
Like
trooper.
we would do the Trooper
nice.
usually.
It's
'cause
my
that's
shit,
a-
Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I love Maiden.
That's my favorite all-time band, dude.
I wanted to get the little symbol. I thought it was the Iron Maiden symbol, but I learned it was like the Derek Riggs autograph.
Oh yeah,
like
his
the little-
yeah, it's the like the hieroglyphic, the eye.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know if I would get that guy's autograph, but I thought it was Maiden, so I was like,
He actually went to go see him, Iron Maiden.
I did it.
Dude,
Did you get a-
I've seen Iron Maiden since 1982.
Yeah, that's
The first time I saw them, they opened for the Scorpions.
Oh really?
Oh,
Here.
Damn.
And we went to see them last year in Albuquerque. I've been to the last 3 times in Albuquerque. The last 2 times they played here, like in the early 2000s. So I've seen them about 11 times.
oh, man.
Love them, man.
Yeah, I saw them in the Book of Souls tour, and they had the giant Eddie, and I thought that was like the coolest thing.
Oh,
I'd ever
last
seen.
year?
Yeah, I
Where,
think
was
so.
it in Albuquerque?
I went to see them in Los Angeles,
Oh, nice.
like I think 2 years ago.
Dude, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard.
That tour lasted a while.
It's hard for anybody to match, just like the theatrics and just the performance, man. It's always spot on.
Yeah.
Those guys are timeless. Okay, so what are most of your songs about? Like, what do you guys write about? What are the themes or?
Oh man.
Oh,
well,
man.
that's the job, Raul's job.
Yeah.
That's he's the one who writes the songs, but then he explains us that the meaning is totally different to the style that we play.
I try to do it like to where
Like,
if I'm saying one thing, it could be taken like that, but then there'll be like at least 3 clues that could switch the meaning.
So that's where that ironic description comes in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel
That's
kind of
irony.
cringy about that.
Dude, I thought it
read
was
out
pretty cool,
loud.
man. Leave it. You should make a shirt that says that.
Yeah, that's your forte.
That's my
dude.
job right there.
But
Cool.
I don't know. Like usually, I try to I just like a combination of words will pop out, and I'll be like, I like the way that sounds.
So, like, name one of your songs.
Well, we have where sheep worship worships, and then
Ooh, damn, that's cool. That's kind of like
a
evil.
tongue to.
A tongue twister.
No, real lies.
Oh,
it's kinda like that, huh?
Yeah, kind of.
Cool, man. Like a play on words. I tell you, man, you guys are like linguistic Olympians, Koreans or something.
And then we got others there. So
But what's that song about?
ooh.
Oh,
We actually sat down one day and we wrote it down. And it's like, what means this? And then I read it again. And I was like, no, it doesn't mean that. I don't know. We wrote it about a certain someone we know that, like, his girl kind of like cheated on him, like right before his eyes. Like it was on his car. Like she didn't know it was his car. It was at a bar, and she just sat at a random car with some guy. And, we thought, and he was like,
He was
you know
like-
what? Fuck it. You know,
He
I'm
was
the
all
better
happy
man.
about
I'm the
it.
better man. I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen. And then
He's still
a
there.
couple weeks later, he started talking to her again, and we were like, all right.
Okay, like I'm not one to judge. People do some really messed up things in life.
Yeah.
But if somebody cheats on you, they're gonna keep cheating on you. They're gonna tell you everything you want to hear
Yep.
to get you back. And guess what they're gonna do after they have you back? They're gonna cheat on you. Cheaters always cheat. You know, I can understand sometimes people like see the light and maybe they make a big turnaround in their life.
Yeah.
But for the most part, once a cheater, always a cheater. Kids, write that down. Write that down and take notes and don't forget it, man. The first sign, especially if you're just like dating, you just have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, because it goes both ways. Women and men
Oh,
cheat.
man.
Yeah.
Women like to always say, "Oh, anytime you hear about cheating, it's like that asshole." But women do it too. They do it to you once, they're gonna keep doing it to you. And if they cheat on their husband for you, guess what they're gonna do to you when you're their husband? They're gonna cheat on you too.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
So that's just a little life hack from Papa Joe. Once a cheater, always a cheater. You see the red flag and píntele.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, so without getting too much into more of the emotional part of it. Okay, so do you guys have any recordings right now?
We do actually.
Where can people find them?
We have 2 demos. We have
No,
two
we
demos.
have the one of the originals.
Oh, one of them survived.
Yeah.
Nice.
We should upload.
But you
that
have
somewhere.
previous EPs before that?
No,
No.
we have this. We made 2 demos
Two
with
demos,
the
yeah.
audio box and. They're
The
on
audio box
YouTube.
and
They're
2
on
mics.
YouTube.
They're on
2
YouTube.
mics, the audio
Yeah.
box, and
Nice.
we cranked those out in about 2 hours now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Can people hear them anywhere, like on Spotify or iTunes?
Yeah,
Oh,
Spotify.
actually,
yeah,
yeah,
They're on
definitely.
Spotify actually.
Spotify.
Under
Google Play.
PCP?
Yeah. On iTunes.
So if I would search PC,
No,
Plasma
Spotify.
Center Princess on Spotify, I'll find you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Plasma Center Princess or PCP.
I think it's on
Plasma
Apple
Center
too. No?
And yeah, on iTunes, on
so you guys
Google
can-
Play,
Yeah.
on Pandora, and
Pandora and
Cool.
Spotify. All those.
YouTube.
YouTube is the main one.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys go ahead and search for them, man. Search them and check out their music, jam them, so that you can make plans to go see them at their shows when they start playing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's time for the show off segment. I'm gonna say it forever till the day I die. We love shows. I don't know. It's weird because like there was a big time in my life when I had to be an adult and I couldn't go to shows. But once I started going, it's like I was hooked, man. So I say that because if you're a person who doesn't go to shows, all you gotta do is just go to one, man, and support local bands like Plasma Center Princess.
Yeah.
And you never know, man. You'll get hooked too, and maybe you'll start going, and that's an awesome thing, man. Just supporting kids. So let's go ahead and talk about where you guys have played. Which venues have you played?
We played
Bars and
Fred's.
Juarez,
We
yeah.
played Fred's. We played
Centenario.
Centenario.
Centenario. Yeah.
And then we had this gig for a political party in Juarez, el Partido Independiente por Armado.
Yeah, they actually
Armando
asked,
Cavada.
they actually asked for autographs that
And
time.
then-
We were
yeah.
thrown out, like we were what?
And then it was actually good because they had the sound. It was like a big trailer, and then like huge sound and lights, and it was amazing. It was like one of the best sounds that we played with.
And then we played La Juarez, like where the little letters are, where everybody usually takes a picture there.
Have you guys played at that big X?
No, I mean,
No,
We're looking
not-
forward
not
to
yet.
playing.
No Juarez Fest yet.
no, we're really like that's our goal. You know,
Yeah,
we want
that's
to
our
play
goal.
festivals. We want to.
Nice.
And then
Jam
we
out.
had one acoustic gig here in El Paso at the Rock House downtown.
Oh,
Oh yeah, the Rock House Art
that
Gallery.
one's not canon season.
That one doesn't count.
Well, kind of, but
Well, it's all
doesn't count.
experience, bro.
I
Whether it's
wasn't
good or
there.
bad.
It
he
was
wasn't
fun.
there.
It was fun.
The equipment didn't get here, so we had to improvise with a ukulele. Ukulele?
Ukulele?
Yeah.
And then
A uke.
a
Yeah,
cajon,
uke.
a cajon, and a
An
guitar,
acoustic-
and
and
an acoustic guitar.
the guitars
Nylon,
were
no?
so low and everything that like you could just hear me sing and like
So it was like stripped down.
yeah. It was,
It was
Pretty
like
much.
Plasma Center stripper.
oh, I like that. I like that.
And then it was
Dude, that sounds better than Princess, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
And
it
then-
loses the drug illusion.
it was
Plasma
bad
Center
because
stripper.
we went after a good band and they had like a drum set and they
Oh,
had
yeah.
equipment and they did so good and then
Who was it?
Red Sand.
Red.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They were called Red Sand.
Mhm.
They played really good and then we just sucked compared to them.
Yeah, but it's all learning experience. man.
Yeah, it is.
And then usually there's this like print shop in Juarez, like in La Chaveña, and it's just a bunch of like these really cool like old rock and roll dudes, man, and they get drunk on a weekend. It's like, hey, bring the instruments, come on, let's
Bro,
play.
we seen some of those older musicians from Juarez, and man, they can shred.
Yeah,
I have some friends that are in a band called Coal Factor, and also Hyperglow.
It's
Cool.
over there.
Cold Factor sounds familiar.
Talk
Yeah.
about like the older guys or the older people like our age. Okay, so what about venues here in El Paso? I know you mentioned Mesa Music Hall. That one counts, even though it was a different name.
Yeah, well, that was just me and my old band. I mean, we played at Tricky Falls. We opened for Local Age in that band.
What?
yeah,
Dude, that's awesome,
That was
man.
before PCP. So.
so
It still counts, though, man. It's
Yeah.
experience.
and these guys played McCarthy's. They played all.
Oh,
all
McCarthy's.
these-
Wisteria and
Wisteria.
Centenario.
And then we auditioned. We were we were at a war of the bands for
Like Battle of the
Battle
Bands.
Battle of the Bands. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Putazos of the band.
Yeah.
Actually, putazo. Yeah.
And then it was weird because our bassist wasn't there. We didn't know where he was, and then it was like an hour before the show, and then he comes walking. And he's like all hurt, all
Oh,
pissed.
that's-
I don't know. And then like people would tell us like, oh, be careful because this band like bought the judges. Like, oh, well, okay, well, let's give it a shot then. And it was for the Juarez Music Festival, the first edition. And then we didn't win, but they gave us like free tickets for the festival. So,
Oh, that's cool.
that
and
counts.
It's
then
like a consolation prize.
yeah, and then we actually went, and it was pretty cool, pretty awesome.
Yeah. You know, also one thing about the venues and what is like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but I know they have like cameras in the venues.
Really?
Because I remember last year at some point I saw video footage of some dude like after there's a band that played that we know, right? So they finished their set and they were all like congratulating themselves on stage, and then some dude who was from another band like goes up to the stage and just like snags the pedal. Like, what are the pedals, dude? And then they see him you could see him putting in his shirt and just like walking in front of the stage, and we're like,
How did they look like when they stole
But
your
they busted
symbols?
his ass, dude. They busted him. Like,
actually
they
stole
shamed
my
his ass.
symbols.
Oh, I bet you
They
shamed
busted
him.
him. They shamed him on social media, and I think they went and beat his ass.
Yeah, one time we played at
Such a
McCarthy's.
gift for being a fucking thief.
We played at McCarthy's and I got my cymbals stolen. My hi-hat cymbals. It was.
Hey,
It
man,
was.
stop stealing from musicians. Damn it. Shit's expensive.
Yeah, I actually got my crash stolen too. I had to buy one for like $100 at Guitar Center.
Bro, that's like so shameful, man.
It is, and then well, we actually got better equipment now, so just
And
take
these guys
care of
are, they're working hard, busting their asses. They probably don't get paid, right? You don't get
Oh,
paid
no,
for
it.
shows?
No, every once in a while, but no.
It's just for fun usually.
Okay.
Just to
Okay, just want to get that off my chest, man. I think that's the first time we talk about it on the vlog. I'm not mentioning names. I'm not mentioning band names or anything. Okay, so what are some of the like the bigger bands you've opened for? Have you ever opened for like a touring band?
No, not really.
No, not really.
What's the biggest band you think you've played with?
For me, it would be Local H.
Local H, dude. That's a big one right there, man.
Nah, not us. Not
No,
really.
no.
But we plan on opening for.
Have you like made any connections with like any promoters or anybody?
I try to get contacted with a producer, but I haven't had a response from her.
Yeah, sometimes it's just about like being persistent, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, whenever you guys are ready for shows, let us know. Judy and I can do our best to help
yeah,
you guys
I
get on
know
shows,
you
man.
guys are like beloved.
we
by
can
the
hook you
whole
guys up,
local
man.
scene.
It's just that like the way we see it, it's good to help people, man.
Mm.
You know, and we're not doing it for credit. We don't want credit, man. We don't want notoriety. This vlog is like I've always said from the beginning. This vlog is not about us. That's why our names aren't even on the vlog. It's about the bands, and you know, I mean, it all started with our kids. That's the reason why we do it. So we try to keep the credit to the bands. Yeah. So if you guys need help, we can help you guys out.
Yeah, because one of the reasons that we don't play here is because of the equipment. Because sometimes we actually have our gigs in Juarez, and then it's tough to bring all the equipment back to El Paso.
Trust
and
me,
then,
dude. We're familiar with all that, man.
man, it's
We know. Yeah,
It's
we, like
tough.
we've had a Heavy Soul that's played here. Heavy Soul, and those guys were from Juarez. And like I knew their struggle. Like their drummer Omar, he's a drummer for Sets now. Fucking Sets is awesome. He would bring his cymbals with him only because he would always try to. He always had somebody like helping him out with their drum set.
Yeah.
Let him use it and
No,
stuff. But I can only imagine how hard it is to bring like your cab and your guitar over here from Juarez. I'm sure
Yeah.
it is.
it's tough. So like, what are some of the things that you guys see at shows in Juarez that make you happy?
A lot of beer.
Mosh pits.
Mosh
disco
pits are the
yeah.
What are they actual mosh pits?
yes, actually. And then sometimes like some bands play covers that are like very old and like they just attract us. And it's like we saw a band they're called Soviet and they played Iron Maiden covers and like his voice is like the same.
Was it that short dude?
Yeah,
That guy sang the Wicker Man like
the same
Bruce,
voice as
man.
Bruce.
It was amazing.
It's just amazing. Yeah,
I mean, see, and now that's all the stuff that we're missing out on.
yeah.
yeah.
And the sucky part was that like not a lot of people were like even like there, you know. There was this really talented band right there, and there's lots of really talented bands, and sometimes at the bars it's
Are there any bands from El Paso that you like to play with?
oh yeah, there was this one band. There was what was her name? Before Voices. They started off with us, and they were like our sister band back in my old, and they were cool.
I don't think they're a band anymore.
No, I don't think they exist. I
Yeah.
mean, it sucks because I saw this one dude that had a tattoo. He got the tattoo of their logo.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what? We have a friend too. This guy's like so devoted to going to local shows, and he has like 2 bands tattooed on him. But I mean,
Yeah.
he's a big fan, so we can't. I mean,
I mean, the music
What can you
doesn't cease to exist, so
yeah.
it's still cool.
Like I have bands too. Like I have the Iron Maiden tattoo. This is a combo of Red Hot Chili Peppers and Soul.
Ah, that's
Soul.
cool.
It's not done yet, but
Yeah, I have one too. I have the, I don't know if it's okay for sure, but it's the little ninja
hey,
star.
today's not Mardi Gras, okay, bro?
That's
That was
the
last
little-
week.
Little ninja star.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Metallica.
So yeah, I mean, looking forward to when you guys start playing shows here, man. For sure, just
Yeah.
let us know.
well,
It's not that I need an invitation to go to shows because we go to shows anyways.
Yeah.
But invitations are nice because then there's so many things going on sometimes on the weekend. So when you do get an invitation, you can save it. You can press on going, and then you get reminders about it. So I'm not saying I need an invitation.
just a
It's
reminder.
just nice to have them, to have reminders.
let
do
you
that.
take care of it, Caesar.
Okay, so let's talk about your social media. I've been referencing your Facebook page, so for sure, I know you guys have a Facebook. But where else can people find you?
Well, YouTube is another way to find us, right? PCP, and then the name of the song, Where She Worship Worships, for example.
Because you have to
But what's the name of your YouTube channel though?
Chaveña Music.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about that. Is that like your label, Chaveña Music?
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Okay, so like for people who are not familiar, Chaveña is a neighborhood in Juarez, right?
Yes, it is.
How far is it from the border?
it's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
Is it like
5-10
by the
minutes.
what's the other one called? El Campestre? Is it close to there?
No.
No,
Campestre
no,
is
no.
Campestre
super
was
far.
like upper class, right?
Yeah,
For
it's
people with
super
money.
close, yeah.
Chaveña is like the polar opposite.
It's like the Lower Valley
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
Where did Juan Gabriel live? What neighborhood did he live?
Downtown.
Downtown, yeah.
It was downtown.
Yeah, I remember cruising by his house like a long time ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
downtown.
Yeah,
La
La
de
16,
16, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So that's the name of your record label?
Yeah.
Chaveña Records.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chaveña
Chaveña
Records.
It's weird because it started off with this like rock band, and then on the side there was this regional Mexican band, and we're all good friends. Like we'll all go to each other's shows and shit, you know.
Yeah,
Like
and then-
they'll be jamming out. Like you'll see this guy and he'll be playing the 12 string, ding, 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 you know. And you would never expect to hear him like jam out to like Harvester of Sorrows or The Shortest Straw or whatever. But you'll be there singing it word for word, you know.
That's
And then like
awesome.
we'll go there and then we'll also be singing like Culpable.
You guys like the Spanish rock? Like
yeah,
Maná
yeah,
and all that?
it's-
Spanish rock, yeah.
I don't know. I can't get into it, man. It's not in me, man. I think because I grew up with so much English rock and metal and stuff
Yeah.
that the Mexican rock, it just doesn't register
Like Maná.
to my ear.
Maná, personally, I don't really like Maná.
I mean, neither do I, man. Like I know a lot of people like sing their songs word for word and they like get all excited, but to me it just doesn't move me at all.
What about Molotov?
What about
Like,
Molotov?
No.
Menos.
Menos?
I don't think I've ever heard one of their songs. Maybe I just haven't given it a chance.
I mean, they're at Speaking Rock every year for free, so we've been there
I like
twice
them.
already,
Yeah?
or more times.
Yeah, but then these guys give me shit sometimes too, because I'll like be listening to Johnny Cash or like,
But you know the funny thing is I've seen Bronco in concert. I've seen Pepe Aguilar.
Oh,
I've seen
Ramon Ayala.
I saw Juan Gabriel.
Oh, Juan Gabriel too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who
all
else?
those
Yeah.
Spanish.
I've been to several.
I mean, it's
Like
not
Mexican-
bad. It's not bad. It's
No,
good.
it's good. Yeah.
there's-
I learned the whole thing, that Juan Gabriel thing.
Oh yeah. Vamos a Noa. Yeah.
Okay, and one thing I need to ask about your social media is like, what's the most reliable way for somebody to contact you in case they want to book you?
Facebook.
Facebook actually.
Did you guys mention Instagram? Do you have an Instagram?
Yeah, we have an Instagram page. Plasma Center Princess.
At Plasma Center Princess altogether.
Plasma Center. No, Plasma and then
Underscore.
underscore center underscore princess.
Okay.
And then yeah.
No Twitter. No Snapchat.
No, not Twitter. Not yet.
What's the most popular social media in Juarez or maybe like
Facebook?
Mexico?
Yeah, I think it's Facebook. I think
Facebook?
It's the
El-
same here. no?
El Face.
Face.
I don't know. They're saying that. Like what I heard recently is that kids are starting to say that Facebook is being overrun by adults, like older people. So now with the younger kids, Snapchat is like the.
It's their,
Yeah.
their stuff. That's their stuff right now.
Well, I know one guy that's like my age and he Snapchats everything.
Yeah, I have Snapchat, but I only use it to keep up with my son because he doesn't live here. So that's pretty much the only reason I have it. But oh well, you don't need to worry about reaching me. Reach them. Okay, so one thing we also like to ask musicians is like, what advice would you give to a young musician,
Don't
or
do
like
it.
maybe somebody who's thinking about like starting a band?
Well,
It's fun. It's fun. You know, you're gonna get a lot of shit for it, and people are gonna like tell you to shut up, or they're gonna.
they're gonna throw you down sometimes, but you know, just believe in yourself and then, well, investing in your equipment will be worth it.
It will.
Right now, it's being worth it. We're trying to record our stuff with good equipment,
Yeah, good equipment.
so
is
just
essential.
invest, and it's gonna be essential for your recordings and for your gigs.
And the one thing, don't tell anybody that you want to do this for a living, because they're gonna get like.
They're gonna
So
be on
much
your
shit.
case.
You never know, man. I mean, some people get lucky. And,
Oh yeah, there's people
be.
that get lucky. There is.
you know,
What?
check out at the drive-in. They're from here.
Yeah, they're pretty good too.
So
Yeah.
okay, and What are your thoughts? And you know what? I don't know if it's different in Juarez, but what are your thoughts on social media bullying?
Bullying. Personally, I think it's screwed up. But I also, if I was getting bullied personally, I'd just like not use that social media platform. Just
I
like,
mean, we
call
bully-
the people
we've-
that I care for.
We bully each other a lot, you know.
But-
It's
Yeah,
like,
but
we're just joking.
That's different, though.
We're
Yeah,
playing.
yeah. You're not like hurting each other.
No,
You're just
it's
talking
just-
shit, right?
Yeah,
That's como cabula.
yeah. But then on social media, it's like a different thing.
Yeah.
And
They,
sometimes
they take it very personal when
sometimes it gets to a point where it's not like you can walk away from it too. There's like a lot of people get behind it, and I think that's messed up. I do.
You think it's better just to like not even acknowledge it, or call them out on it?
I think I would just walk away from it
Yeah.
because calling them out just brings more attention to me, and I
Yeah,
don't want that.
and we've said that before. Sometimes when the person who's doing the bullying, when they do it, they're just looking for a reaction from the other person.
Mhm.
So like when they get a reaction or they know they got the best of them, it kind of like they get off on that for reasons that I cannot understand. But I guess it makes them happy because they poked at you and you didn't like it. I don't know. Sometimes it's better just to like not even acknowledge it and pretend it didn't happen.
Mhm.
But at some point, somebody needs to call that person out quick because if you don't call them out on it, they just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. It's a very touchy topic. That's why I like to talk about it on our vlog because it
Yeah,
does
it's pretty
happen,
sensitive.
and it's not hard to tell. Like if you have a pretty good size friends list on your Facebook, you can usually tell who the bullies are. Sometimes they're trolls. You know, some guys are funny. They like to talk shit, and then, you know who those guys are. But when somebody posts at you who doesn't even know you, then I think that's where the line
Yeah.
is drawn. I don't know. It's a touchy situation,
Yeah,
but that's why I want to get your take on it.
Yeah.
For the most part, everybody says it's pretty fucked up, but
Yeah.
there has to be a little more as far as like what are your real thoughts on it?
Man, it just causes a lot of trouble. Like you've seen before, some people like get commit suicide because of that, and it's like it's not worth it. Like it's you're gonna feel the guilt because they killed themselves because of some bully. So it's that's how I think about it. It's
Yeah,
just sad. You know?
I
Yeah.
can't understand the thought process to go around just bullying somebody. Just I don't know. That would make me feel kind of pathetic. You know, like I have to. How little do I think of myself that I have to bring somebody down? So
Yeah, I think, and that's right there. That's like the bottom line. Like my life sucks so much that I feel the need to make somebody else feel the way I do. Fuck, man, I better
Yeah.
find a hobby or something. Man. That's why I take pictures.
Play music.
Because I find fulfillment in it, and it keeps my attention on something positive, or I can help somebody, you know. Versus when I'm just sitting at home with my thumb up my ass, thinking of ways to fuck with people. Stupid, man.
Mm-hmm.
like
Get your thumbs out of your asses.
I got cyberbullied one time, and now that I think back on it, I think it's the funniest thing.
Yeah,
But,
looking back on it.
Like I think time is the best.
Yeah,
Because
time is
over
everything.
time, like I thought, wow, I was, yeah, I did. Because I remember I posted something on YouTube, and I was like really proud of it. I was like 13, 14 years old, and I posted it, and I'm like, this shit sucks, and I was like, oh shit, that gets to me.
Cool. And you know, like sometimes people, like you write your music and stuff, and then you play what you like, right?
Yeah,
But there's sometimes people write music to make other people happy,
yeah.
and then, people call that like selling out, right? Like,
I
so
personally-
what do you think would make somebody a sellout?
Just not being authentic to yourself, you know? It doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter if you're making money or if you're making a more commercial sound. If that's what you like, go for it. I mean, if you're making money, do it. But I think it starts becoming like a sellout when it's like, I'm going to do this because it's going to make people like me. Instead of, I'm going to do this because this is the song that I want to write right now, you know?
Like kind of like Nickelback. People always say Nickelback, they sold out and stuff. I remember it's crazy because I remember the first time I heard Nickelback. I thought they were pretty cool. I mean, they were
I kind of
it
like
was rock. I
Nickelback.
liked it. But then after a while, like all kind of started to sound the same, and it seemed like they were just writing for the radio.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, that I would call that it, selling out.
Selling out,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
so would you say that sellouts sometimes necessary or they just suck?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I, for some magical reason, got to a level where I was making a lot of money for my music, and after making a couple albums where I'm being like authentic to myself, if I want to keep making money, if I want to keep eating, I guess I would do the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. I would,
True.
Like, well, here is $1 million, man. Rewrite. This is how you remind me again. All right, I'll do it. Yeah, fuck it.
Remind me of how big of a sellout I am. Okay, so now we've arrived at the
Rapid fire.
nice. Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys 5 questions off the top of my head that I wrote while you guys were setting up. So you have like half a second to answer. Okay, everybody can answer. Okay, so here we go. Okay, what famous person do people say that you resemble?
They told me Dross. Dross.
Who?
Dro-
Dross. I don't know. It's like
Dross?
this.
YouTuber.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
from
He's a YouTuber.
Venezuela, I think.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Come on, Caesar. It's gonna get edited later, so you don't have to.
So.
Kevin?
Yeah. Too.
Kevin, you have to have gotten something, man.
Nobody's ever told you, hey, you look like this dude? Okay, people have told me
No.
that I look like. Sometimes people have told me that I remind them of Bill Murray. I don't know why. I don't think I look like that.
No, they told me I
Maybe it was
looked like
before I had the beard.
Oh yeah, I remember somebody told me that I look like Gerardo Ortiz.
Now one time this dude told me I look like the guy from Gorillaz, the one with the blue hair.
Oh, yeah, yeah. True.
I don't know how, but okay.
Okay, question number 2. What is your favorite hometown restaurant?
Whataburger.
No, it's not hometown.
No,
It's
it's
a
hometown.
franchise.
Canaleros. Los Canaleros.
¿Cómo se llama ese lugar, güey? Oh, it doesn't exist anymore. It was Delicia's Pizzeria. It was like over here on Paisano.
Oh,
yeah.
It ceased to exist.
Dude,
man.
there's some
Pretty
good
soon.
restaurants in Juarez, man. Like, I grew up on Citos. We used to go to Citos a lot. Now it's here, and it's not the same, but it's still good. I used to go to Polito Mexicano. Does that still exist?
Yeah, it does.
Is it in the
Yeah.
same place?
Yes.
Viva Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Viva Mexico, that restaurant, right? It's still there?
It's still there.
At the same place? Man, they used to have like, they would put on shows and everything, man. It was awesome.
It's still there.
Yeah. If you guys have the balls to go to Juarez, go to Viva Mexico. Okay. Question number 3. What is your dream instrument?
String instrument. Oh.
I'll go inside.
It's like if somebody would ask me, what's like the one camera you would want? I already know what I would say.
I wish I had this a cab, like a giant cab, a Marshall.
A full stack.
Yeah, like just giant, like.
Solid state or tube amp?
I would go for the tube.
Tubes?
Yeah.
Man, I would say a trombone, I guess.
A trombone?
Trombone? Really? Seriously? That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's been like so I can play jazz in, and like it's the #1 jazz instrument other than trumpet.
Nice. Kevin?
It's
Oh, I know which one it is. It's the yellow one, dude, with the frets that are like kind of like uneven.
oh yeah, the fixed fretboard guitar. Yeah,
But which brand? What brand is it?
I think it's custom made. Like it's
Custom?
handmade. Yeah. It's
Oh, damn.
handmade.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's say you go to Vegas, right? There's casinos there. Okay, would you liquor in the front or poker in the rear?
Both.
Both.
In no particular order.
In verse.
Okay, and the last question is, what song was playing as you lost your virginity?
Oh fuck!
Oh.
God,
The sound of silence.
The alarm. The alarm of the phone.
I'm gonna be honest. I was listening to Guns N' Roses' "Rocket Queen."
Oh, that's why I like that song.
Damn.
I was listening to my
Show
own
off.
songs.
Your own songs? In my head, my own songs? Damn, bro. You weren't alone, right? Okay, so
Oh man.
okay, so that was fun, man. That wraps up our vlog session with you guys. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we finish? If there's anything you want to mention regarding your band, now's your chance.
Yeah, well, we're looking for a bass player.
Or bass player.
Like we have one that we're thinking about, but like if anybody for some reason wants to like hit us up on our page to audition,
Be
like,
welcome.
yeah, we'd
Yeah,
definitely
just-
be down.
Hook us up at Facebook, Instagram, Plasma Center Princess.
Yeah, wherever.
Yeah, we're on Spotify. Every other music app. Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. Okay, and are there any shout outs you want to give to anybody? Anybody who's helped you or?
Shout out Palrigo
Palrigo,
from
yeah.
La Chaveña,
From Chaveña
all his
Records.
family and everybody there.
I want to shout out to Eddie. Yeah,
To
he's
Eddie.
helped us a lot.
Yeah, to Eddie.
And my mom and Danny too.
And
Where-
Pat as well. Pat. Hi, Pat.
Where do you guys practice?
Juarez.
No, but
At
I don't know.
somebody's house or?
Sometimes we practice at Johan's house still, and
So-
sometimes at Caesar's house.
Yeah, we change places every once in a while.
Sometimes we just go to the plaza with acoustic guitars and just like jam. And he's got like his little box and
So if you see someone playing there, it's us.
yeah, don't throw tomatoes at us, please.
Do they pay you guys? Like if you play out in the streets over there?
Mm-mm,
No.
No.
not really. Like
No.
they just tell us, "Oh, go away."
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's actually like some sort of weird cartel there for like the areas, because there's like you go down like La 16 or La Juarez, and there's always a bunch of bands playing. And when we played there was the Pachucos. They'll be dancing there with their like suits and stuff, and they were turning up their music and like giving us shit because they were like infringing on their property and stuff. It was weird.
It's like it's our property. It's
You
our
can't play
place.
music.
Go away. This is our
Yeah, we had permission from like the
the
municipal
government.
government.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
The
You have
government.
to have like a permit?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I guess it's the same here. I don't know if you need a permit
No,
to,
yeah,
to play.
we got kicked out of the
Of the plaza.
plaza
plaza.
one time because we were jamming like just standing up, just
Acoustically?
us, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
And they're like, you guys have to play on the sidewalk.
He,
Like we weren't even busking or anything. we
Yeah,
were just
like
there.
we have friends who they bust quite a bit. Like some of them do that for a living. So that's why I was asking you.
now we just
You
go
do
out
artists
and
too.
like have fun, you know, get some
Yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah, mostly it's just fun, you know. It's we like, but we just want fans, you know.
You just wanna
we
get
want
your
to have
music out there.
crowds. We want to have people listening to it. But that's it. That's as far as our what's that word? Oh, I forgot the word. I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, dude, it was really interesting talking about like all things music related in Juarez because I'm really curious about it. I think for the most part because I feel like I still can't go over there. I mean, life is precious. I value my life. Maybe someday we can, but I don't know. I'm always like wondering. I wonder what it's like over there because like we like going to shows and it'd be awesome to go there and shoot, but I don't want to get shot.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend shooting there, but like going to a show, it's just pretty chill. You just go there.
You wouldn't recommend shooting there, like taking pictures?
During the day.
Like every
No, but
once
I'm
in a
talking
while,
about
like,
at a
if you-
show.
If you know
At a
if
show.
you know the bands, then it would be cool. But like, I know you guys shoot a lot of the local bands here,
Mhm.
and I don't know if I would do that. But
Is it different over there, like at a show?
like they wouldn't mind, but I just people seeing somebody with cameras and stuff.
Just have to.
Just
ask
because I
permission.
risky taking your gear over there?
Well, for the bands, no, because nobody really gives a shit if they see a bunch of like ragtag guys, like long hair and a guitar. They don't care, but like.
Damn, now I'm even more scared.
But like if you
Thanks,
guys
Raul.
if you guys just go to the shows, you won't have any problems.
gonna be
It's
chill.
really calm.
It's really
like
chill.
it's basically like going into a little bit less fortunate neighborhood from El Paso.
I mean, we're familiar with Juarez. I used to go there a lot, so I don't know. Maybe someday, man. Maybe someday everybody will just be cool again and we can go
Yeah, you
check
can
it
just hit us up and we can go together.
Yeah.
out. I tell them that they're gonna think I'm ISIS or something with my beard over there. And they're just gonna fucking throw a
The fucking
grenade or something, rocket propelled grenade or something. All right, man. Well, we want to thank you guys for allowing us to feature your band.
Thanks for
It's really
having
cool
us.
getting to know you guys, man. And also, I want to mention that we always want to shout out our sponsors. They're awesome. Alex and Nicole Vargas with the live audio. They're really gracious with us. They helped us out with our audio recording gear. Shout out always to Mama Judy for all her hard work. She's awesome. Man. Could not do this without her. She's like 51% of the vlogs, so always giving praise to Judy.
Applause, applause.
That's true. It's well deserved.
And also, you know what? Shout out to the bands that come on here, man. We also couldn't do this without you guys, so we owe a lot of the stuff that we get is because of you guys, man. So thank you. Thank you guys too. Plasma Center Princess, be on the lookout for them, man. Support them, buy their merch when you guys get shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
Because Caesar's gonna decorate some awesome shirts.
I can make them.
He's gonna design them.
I make everything. Every work.
And the
Yeah, buy
ones-
their CDs, buy their buttons, whatever they have, man. I mean,
Yeah, follow us
Hit 'em
on
up.
our social media.
and
Yep.
there's
Go
gonna be
back
the
there.
one special edition Plasma Center stripper shirt. And it's gonna
Yeah.
Plasma Center stripper. You got that.
Gonna be worth $100.
Limited edition.
The rest of them could be worth $3.
I already got it,
don't
dude.
give a
I got the idea. I got the idea. Okay, instead of a stripper pole, she has one of those IV,
They're like the.
the IV stands with the IV bag for the
Yeah.
plasma, and she's on that pole.
Isn't
The
that
wheels
like?
at the bottom?
That's awesome.
It's my idea. Okay, okay, and yeah, thank you guys again,
Yeah, thanks.
and we'll see you guys next week on the Middle Shop Vlogs.